and welcome back to A to Z Sports. Andrew Goldstein and Zach Weiss here with you, along with Steven Tierney and Colson Cooper, our great video guy. And now we have Alex Sala from the men's soccer team. And we're going to interview him for this Point Park Sports segment of our show. Why don't you go ahead and get us started, Zach?
Well, first of all, we should probably welcome Alex to the show, I would assume, right?
Yeah, let's welcome him, because I've forgotten to do just about everything today.
Hello, it's good to be here.
Well, thanks for coming.
No problem.
Professionalism is key, Andrew. Then again, look at me.
Yeah, then again, look at you.
Well, let's start with before the season. Conditioning-wise, what did you guys? What kind of conditioning program did you guys kind of start with to prepare for this kind of a season, knowing you guys were hovering right around the 500 mark last season?
We had a conditioning program for the summer, so everybody had to work individually on conditioning, and then we came back to school 2 weeks before school and season starts to work especially on conditioning, but also on team tactics and kind of get to know each other, because we had a couple new players and the conditioning was mainly to do during summer.
Okay, well, you scored the game-winning goal against Mount Union in your last game to win 2-1. Tell us a little bit what's that, kind of what it's like walking off the field after, you've scored the game-winning goal. Is there extra excitement there, or are you just happy that the team won?
First of all, happy that the team won. I don't think it really matters that much who scores the goals. Somebody got to do it, and the main goal is to win, to make the playoffs, and it don't really matter who scores.
You guys lost Schnecke over the season. You guys don't have him anymore. So filling in, you have Tabi, and then you also have freshman Lucas Silva, who's a little bit banged up right now. But what do you make of that 1-2 punch and how they've done thus far in the season?
It's difficult to make up for Schnecke's loss. He scored 11 goals. He scored especially in very important games. But Lucas Silva and Wendelin Hobel, and of course Francis Tabi, who is here in his third year, help to make up for that. They score goals. They're different players, but they're doing a great job, and we're scoring. And as long as we score, it's all good.
Okay, so you have 2 games against Fisher coming up this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. You started out 0-1 in the conference. That game you lost to Walsh was a tough game because you had a lot of starters out. So are you looking forward to start winning some conference games and getting ahead in your conference schedule?
Yeah, Fisher's gonna be very important just because there are only 5 teams in who can make playoffs in the AMC this year, and if we can beat Fisher twice, and we should be able to beat them twice, considering their results of the last couple of weeks, we are definitely in the playoffs, which is still the main goal.
Moving forward, looking back at last year again, you guys started off really good AMC play, and then it kind of fell a little bit. How important is it to get those wins really early to try and prevent something like that from happening?
It is very important, because at some point you're going to get red cards, you're going to get injuries. We already have injured players. But I think that the depth in our team is way better than it was last year, and I expect us to get better to the end of the season, and not like last year to kind of lose. I think it was 7 out of the last 8 games. That was pretty bad.
Okay, so moving on from kind of the general overview of the games to more of the team style of play. You and Coach Rolstra have both said, quote, keep the ball on the carpet, unquote. And I was wondering if you could explain what that means, and how is that to the team's advantage?
Our team is a really short team, if I can say it like that. We don't have a lot of tall players. We don't have too many big players. We're skilled. We can run. We can move quick, and to use that as an advantage, the ball gotta be on the ground. As soon as we play long balls, we're gonna lose headers, we're gonna run behind others, we're gonna get into those one-on-ones against bigger, stronger players, and we want them to run around pretty much. We want to have the ball, to have possession, to move the ball, and you can only have possession if you keep the ball on the carpet.
Earlier you talked about some of the injuries, Ego Donnell being one, the goaltender. What do you think of the job that Mitchell Kelman's done so far in goal for you guys?
I think Mitch is doing a great job. He had 3 shutouts. He's working great with the team. I think he improved a lot since he came here, and he really does an awesome job. So of course, Zeke had great numbers the last 2 years. He was AMC second team, but I think Mitch does a great job, and Zeke can take his time, so his foot heals, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, continuing to talk about other people a little bit. Tell us about Coach Walster. I know Coach Walster's been here for, I think it was 5 years. Is that right, Zach? I think he's in his 5th season now. Anyhow, you've obviously had him for a little while now. Tell us about what kind of coach he is and what he's like, during practice, during games, and so forth.
The main thing for me is he wants to play soccer. He's not a big fan of running, just conditioning. He wants to play with the ball. He wants to practice with the ball. He wants to get us better. He wants to play us modern soccer, and that's very important in my eyes. I think his job got a lot easier since he's only coaching the men's team. Like 2 years ago, he also coached the girls' team, and now he can really focus on the guys' team, which makes it a lot easier for him, like, to focus on certain things and to practice individually. I think he's doing a good job, and he finally gets good players to win games, and I'm sure the program is getting better and better with him.
Absolutely. What was I going to say? Last year, was you and Schnecki were the 1-2 kind of punch, so to speak, last season. Who is that target that you really, when you're kicking that ball, whether it's free kick, whether it's it's just a pass, who is it that you're perhaps gelling with or meshing with the most right now?
I think that's the great thing about this year, that we have so many different guys. We have Oval, Matt Anakiriko, Lucas Silva, Francis Tavi, Jack Pinkleton, who played 2 great games last week. A lot of guys who can do different things, who have different styles, and we're not as predictable as last year that the ball gotta go into Schnecki.
Okay, well, continuing on, you're talking about other players a little more. Is there any particular player that really surprised you? Coming, I don't know whether it would be a younger player or one of the veterans on the team. Anyone in particular that you didn't expect to get the results from that's happened so far this season?
I think Lucas Silva coming in with 5 goals in the first 3 games. That's really great and unexpected. If you come in as a freshman and you score 5 goals that soon, now he's injured, but I'm sure he's coming back and he keeps scoring. Another player is Lukas Merbowski, who is starting as a center mid, and I didn't really know what to expect when he came in here, and he practiced really well, does a great job, and he has his fixed spot in the midfield, which is I think a great accomplishment as a new incoming freshman.
Have you had a team highlight? Would you classify something as a team highlight for you thus far in the season yet? Or at least when you guys came together the most, perhaps?
That's difficult because for me the conference games are the highlights of the year, and we only had one, and since we lost that 3-0, I don't want to consider that a big highlight. So I'm still looking forward, hope that there will be some highlights, especially against Houghton or Roberts.
Okay, I think a little later in the season, I think I forgot the schedule. It's I think in late October to early November. You have 3 out of 4 games against Houghton and Roberts Wesleyan. 2 of your the more stiff competition in the AMC. You said if you win these 2 games against Fisher, you're making the playoffs. But how big of a test is that going to be, having 3 out of 4 games against those teams?
Yeah, that week or those 2 weeks gonna show where we're really at. Because if we wanna win the playoffs, we gotta win against Houghton and Roberts, and we'll see in those couple days where the team is, where we are compared to them, where we are in our fitness level, and if we can really beat them. I think it don't really it don't really matter how the AMC ends in my eyes, because if we make the playoffs and we want to win the AMC, we gotta beat every team. So it doesn't really matter that much if you are first or second or third. You just gotta be there in that last week.
Next Friday, I believe it is, Andrew Keaton at the Houghton matchup at Couple Stadium, Fan Van. I know it can be tough to get to the field, but what are you hoping for in terms of fan support attendance, especially with the new fan pass that's going on that USG just issued?
First of all, I'm really excited to play at Couples because it's close to the city. It's at Southside. Obviously, 12 p.m. is not the best time, but I hope that a couple fans will show up. It would be great. Would be great support. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good game. Houghton is going to try to play soccer. We're playing on our home field. It's balls hopefully going to be on the carpet. A fast game. And I'm really excited for that.
Well, excuse me. Well, we kind of covered a lot of the near future with those games coming up. So is there anything in particular you're looking forward to for the rest of the season? Any of the games, yourself, or anything else of that sort? What are you looking forward to for the rest of the season?
I'm looking forward, first of all, to get everybody healthy for the end of the season. I'm expecting to make playoffs, and we need everybody there for that last week. I want to have a positive record this year. It will be the first time since I think it was 1998, and we should be able to accomplish that this year. But it's a long way. It's a lot of games, and those are the two most important things for me.
A lot of other Point Park athletes kind of do look at a lot of the other Point Park fall sports going on. Have you had a chance to? I know I saw you at the volleyball game last night. So have you had how much of a chance have you had to kind of see what some of these other teams are about and what's been going on?
I try to see as much as possible. I read the Globe or look on the website, but obviously we practice a lot, we play a lot, and there's not too much time next to school to go to every game.
Well, I guess we're kind of getting close to a break here. I just want to know if you had anything else to add yourself. I don't know if Zach had one last question before we should do that, or is there anything you want to say about the team, fan support, anything you want to say? Yeah, go ahead. The area is yours.
I think the team's better than it's ever been in the last 10 years, and it'd be great if a couple fans show up to see us. We would like to have as much support as possible, and yeah, it's different. It's soccer in the U.S., I know, but it can still be a fun time, I think.
The last question I wanted to ask you is, I've asked Kevin Taylor about this, but I wanted to get an athlete's opinion. Obviously you're thinking highly about this, but the new athletic logo. What are your thoughts regarding this logo?
The new athletic logo, yeah. I was there when we were pretty much deciding about the logo last year, and I liked it the best from there were 3 or 4 we looked at, and I like the city. For me, the main thing is that the city is on there, and I heard about the history of the bison at Point Park. But yeah, it's good to have a logo. It's something that you can identify the school or the sports teams with Point Park. I think it's a good thing.
All right, perfect. Well, we thank you so much for coming into the studio. You're always welcome back to come in.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. It's been a great interview, and we'd be glad to have you back anytime.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we are up against a break, so when we come back, Andrew and the news. I guess it's not Huey Lewis, but it's Andrew and the news.